So, hi everyone, welcome to this month's mug. And for those who don't know me, my name is Amy and I'm part of the customer success team. So today myself and my colleague Keen will be going over some of the new features, the lovely new features that are on Monday.com. So I'm just going to run through some housekeeping first. So the demo duration is usually 30 minutes. We will try and keep it with under that, but it might go over a few minutes. It is an open discussion, so you can ask us anything. Just unmute yourself and feel free to pop a question then as well into the chat feature also. Um, and then a recording will be sent to each of the attendees within the next 24 hours, and we'll also send you a survey so you can tell us how good we were, and it will also give you the chance then to add any features that you might want discussed in the next mug. So on the agenda today, we have some really exciting things. So we've got Keen is going to cover the archiving, hierarchy, and the permissions. I am then going to go through the new portfolio solution. I'm going to hand it back to Keen to show some exciting new features that are going to be coming up on the roadmap. And then we'll do an open floor for Q&A.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Amy. Appreciate it.
Brilliant.
Hi, everyone.
So
Thanks so much for
I'll
coming.
let you, I'll pass it over to Keen.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks a billion. Hi, everyone. So let me just share my screen first of all. I'm just going to jump right into it because there's quite a lot to cover today. So first, I want to take a look at kind of like the hierarchy structure of Monday. So I think we all know there's many different ways to organize your workflow within Monday.com. And I just want to make sure that you're aware of all of these options because you'd be surprised how many people I kind of meet with. And I take a look at their workflows and it's boards everywhere. And I just want to jump in and like, please invite me to your account. I want to organize this for you because there's boards everywhere. And I think we know what the headache is like trying to find boards. So we want to keep it nice and organized, right? So rather than organizing all your workflows in like one space, I'm going to show you how you can categorize everything. And so let's take a look. I presume you can see the screen there, Amy, can you? Perfect. Okay, lovely. So the highest level in Monday's structural hierarchy is a workspace. So all your boards and dashboards and work docs must be created in one of your account's workspaces. So I'd really suggest organizing your workspace by departments or teams. So here you can see this is our workspace here, and this would be our marketing team, for example. I suggest you put all your teams in different workspaces just to make things nice and clear. So you can have your sales team, marketing team, customer success team, and give them all their own workspace just to, make the flow of information a lot easier to understand. So the next thing we have is folders. So I'd really encourage you to use folders within your workspaces. You'd be surprised how many people don't. And try to give them a nice color if you can, just to make them easier to read and stand out. So in our marketing team workspace here, you can see that I have a folder called projects. So this could be all our projects over multiple years. Now, the next thing we have is subfolders after this. So you can see all my projects are kind of, divided into subfolders where we have our 2024 projects. You might have your 2023. You might organize it like that, or again, you can extrapolate from this and think about how you might use subfolders. But really just trying to keep everything clean and nice and organized so you know how to find your projects easily, right? So that's really how it goes. And then we have our boards and our dashboard. So they'd be kind of the final level of the hierarchy. So you have your workspaces, your main folders, subfolders, and then boards. So I'd really suggest also when you have your boards and you have your multiple projects that you connect them up to first a higher level board and then maybe a dashboard. So you can jump in here and really keep track of all your projects and see how they're going throughout the year. Because if you're a project manager, you don't want to be jumping into the individual projects. You want to connect them all up to a dashboard. Now, we've covered this a lot in one of our previous mugs. So I really suggest going on to the website, providencecrm.com, and you can see all our past mugs because we went really in depth into this. But for now, I'm just going to kind of skip over that and move on to archiving. So you can archive pretty much anything in Monday. You can archive a group, you can archive your boards, you can archive your items. So all you need to do is really click on the ellipsis here and scroll to archive. You can do it on the board level too. And you can do it on an item level. You can even select multiple items and archive them all at once. So there's multiple ways to access the archive section. So you can access it either up here in your workspace level. So you can go straight to your archive section and you can access it up here. You see your archive here. And then you can also access it with this search everything icon. You'll be able to see all your archive boards there. Now, the place I would usually go is here because it's just nice and easy to access. So let me show you how this looks and how you can, first of all, delete something and then, unarchive something. So let's say we have this board and we just want to archive the board. Click archive, nice and simple. Now you do have an undo button here. Now it only shows up for 30 seconds. This is a bit of a pain with people I've met with. Apparently, word on the street is there will be an undo button, like maybe end of the year, maybe next year, but who knows? I mean, they've been talking about this for ages. But for now, you really just have to go to your archive section and then undelete from there. So let me pop in there. Here you can see the item that I just deleted. Now, in the archive section, you can really filter down things. You can, show you different months and different years. I mean, you can go all the way back. So the good thing about archiving is that, when it's sent to the archive section, it's there indefinitely. So it's not going to disappear automatically. Now, when you delete something from the archive section, it will move to your trash. So you can see that over here. But it will get automatically deleted from the trash within 30 days. So I do think it's really important to go over these basics because you'd be surprised, you could be using Monday for years and we still don't really know kind of the basics when it comes to this stuff. Again, you can search here and you can filter also by board item. So you can see all your items, all your groups, all your boards. So let me show you how you can have a little preview here and view what the board looked like before restoring. Click restore, and you'll see that it's come back here. So it's pretty simple to do this stuff. Again, let me just show you what that looks like with a group. Click archive. Again, you can undo here. Now you only get 30 seconds to do it, but you can do that. And so archive, go to your archive section, and then you can unarchive from here and restore. Now, a lot of people may want to archive something automatically. So if it hits a certain date, or it's like after maybe a year, you want to archive all your stuff just to make things nice and clean. Because I know, myself, that I've been working on loads of boards, like demo boards, test boards, that are just like taking up so much space. So I really suggest using an automation to automatically archive stuff. So to do that, click on automate. Search here, just type in archive, and type that in. And you'll have a few different options here. So when a date arrives, archive an item. Every day, if the date has passed the last 7 days, you can see all the different options here. And there's a new one in beta called when a data has passed and the status is something, archive the item. So it could be like when a project is completed and it's hit a certain date, then archive it. And so those are really some of the basics when it comes to archiving. Again, if you need some more in-depth info on this, send us a message and I can go over it. Now I'm going to have to hurry this up because I know, Amy, you've a lot to cover. But finally, we have permissions. Now, we kind of have covered this in some of our previous mugs, but I'm going to go over just the basics when it comes to actual board permissions, right? So let's click on our board. So each board has like 3 different options. So you can have it just be a main public board, and you can change it to shareable, and you can change it to private. Now, one thing I want to bring up with you guys is I've had so many customers who would have, say, external stakeholders, and they need to share some information with them, and they invite them up here. Now, when you invite someone up here and the board is a main account, they're actually invited as a member who can like edit things and change information. And a lot of the time you don't want that. You only want them to be able to view something as a guest. So to do this, you're going to want to change the board type to shareable. And we'll change the board to shareable. And now when you invite, you'll see you can invite board guests here. You do not invite them here because they can like delete everything on it. So, and you want to invite them this way. Now in each board, you have different board permission settings. And so you can choose really what people are able to do on your board. So the board owner has the ability to control what information can be changed or viewed by other board members. So a lot of people miss this. You want to click into permissions here on your board. And you have a lot of different options. So by default, anyone can edit everything on the board. You can see that, you can delete, edit, add all of these items. There's options to edit the board's content without changing its structure. So you can't, change columns or groups, but you can update information. And you can only edit items or sub items that users are assigned to. or write updates on items only. So they can't access any of that stuff. So it's a really important feature to use. And so I'd really suggest, locking things down and getting into your board permission kind of settings there. And you also then have, finally, I'm just going to quickly go through your column restrictions. So with your columns, you can restrict these. So you go to settings. You can both restrict column editing, so it makes sure that no one is allowed to edit the column, for example, and only specific people can. And you can restrict the column view. So, with this permission, you can restrict the viewing access of columns on your board to only board owners or other specific people. So just to show you what that looks like is, you select that, you can choose just the people who can view the column. So that's kind of it. I think I'm going to have to kind of end it there because we're running short of time. But if you want any more information on that, please let me know. Please reach out by email, and I'm happy to meet with you one-on-one about that. So thanks very
Brilliant.
much. Cool.
Thank you,
Hand it back to
Keane.
you then, Amy. Thanks very much.
Thanks a million. That was fantastic. Thank you. So what I'm going to show you guys is the portfolio solution. And I'm just going to share my screen now. 1 second. You're good to see that now, yeah?
I can't see anything yet.
Now?
Yeah, perfect. Lovely.
There we go. Perfect. So the portfolio solution is something that a lot of people have been waiting for quite some time, and it's now launched across all enterprise accounts. So it is solely just for enterprise. So remember, like when you were trying to build your own portfolio and you're trying to have your portfolio to contain all of your projects, and you'll be able to connect the boards, mirror columns, which is obviously an amazing feature. But Monday have now just made that even better and a hell of a lot easier for you. So here I have some of my projects. So project 1, 2, and 3, as you can see. And so what I want to do is get that information from them and have it in one section. And to do that, then what we can do is add it from our workspace. We'll click plus, and we're going to click on portfolio. So I have already made one. Here's one I made earlier, but once you click on that, you will be given a blank space. And within that blank space, then you can add your projects into it. So here's one, as you can see, it has all the information from your projects. And I'll show you how easy it is. You click here. Actually, well, project 3 is already there. So I'm just going to remove this here, and then I'll show you how you can actually do it quite simply. So we're going to add project, and then I'm going to just type in 3. And you can see here that any project that I have with 3 is here, and I'm going to click on this one here. And you can see that it's going to generate all the information from that project from the lower level into the higher level. So the great thing that you can do, the great information that you can do from here, so you can click in here to look at an overview from that project. And that will give you more insight. So it will show you the project process in your battery widget. It will show you the RAG status. If there's any changes within it, it will show you within here. It will also show you then the timeline through your Gantt chart as well. So that's on an individual project. And within there, you can also click on any updates. You can add any updates, add any files, the project info. And what's really cool about this is that you can actually change the health status of that project from this level. So if I wanted to amend this status and I could see that this project is actually at risk, I will put a little note in here, and it will change then on the lower level as well to say, once my typewriter starts working, it will actually show this is at risk, and you can explain why within there, and you can see it updates then in the RAG as well. And then from here as well, you can actually click straight into that project and have a better view, a more granular view of it. There's more then that we can just actually heaps more that we can do from their portfolio. So you can see here as well, it's going to show you you can change the health of the project from here. You can assign your owner. What's really cool as well is that you have a project status summary. So this will actually allow you to open a Monday doc and write a whole document on that actual project. Or if you want, you can just add in a short description within here as well. So if I wanted to change, say, some of these projects to being off track and at risk, you can see here then this is an overview, and the different views that you have up here will be an overview of all the projects that you have running. And in saying that, you can add up to 200 projects, which there is obviously limitations from when you're adding them through dashboards previously. So 200, and they're actually going to be increasing that as well. in the near future. So we're hoping that it'll be before the end of the year. The rumor has it will be. But from here as well, you can add different views, but the good ones that they already have on this template is your Gantt view. And yeah, so this is going to show the overall projects. You can click here as well if you want it to be within the quarter, or if you want it to be within the year or the weeks. And as well, then you can do the auto fit. So it will show you all of your projects in one view. And a really cool feature is your snapshot. So this here is going to show you all of your features, or sorry, all of your projects in one snapshot. And you can click in here. Obviously, you'll have more added at the time, but it'll show you like everything that's on track, what's off track and at risk. And you can click into each of the projects from this section as well. So another really cool feature that we have from this. So the way a structure of your projects should be is that they will come in a request board. And when they come in, they will go through the planning, the execution, and then the launch. But from here, we want to be able to make your time more valuable. So what I've done here is set up my request board, my request and approval board. I've set up an automation. And from that automation is when the status is changed to approved, it's going to create an item within my project portfolio. So you'll be able to see now. So if I change project 4 to approved, and then if I just, you can see down here that it's working, the automations are working their magic in the background. And then if I then click into my project portfolio, and back onto the project level of that, you can see here that it's actually after creating a project within the portfolio. So it's done that work for you. So you don't have to do anything. You don't have to add a project from here. I've also then set up my project as a template. So the template is set up so that it will actually pop into, once you have that automation set up, it will create the project within here. But then on top of that, I also have an automation set from the portfolio, so that when an item is created, it will also create an actual project from the templates. So you can see here as well that it actually added the project within here as a project board. So you can, from that one automation from here, and then another one from the project portfolio, you're able to set up a new project. You're able to have all the information that you want from that project in the portfolio as well. So yeah, the other things then that you have is your standard settings like your search, your filter, sort, and your group by. And yeah, everything else then you can change from here. Also, you can change the stages that's within the project. There's so much that you can do from the portfolio side, and then you can have as well the information from your project level to go from your portfolio level to go down into your project level. Now, I'm just wondering, so I think that's the main things that I can show you from there, but as well, if you want to go into more depth, we can always jump on another call and go through them as well. Is there any questions about the portfolio?
Is this on like what kind of accounts can get the portfolio? Is there like restrictions like just pro or
No,
enterprise?
it's solely just enterprise accounts that can have it, and I think that it will just be offered to the enterprise accounts at the moment. So the old solution is still there for portfolio or for the pro accounts, but it's just that longer kind of stages that you have to go through.
Gotcha.
Excellent. So I thought there'd be heaps of questions from that. That's what I was kind of getting.
You were too good, Amy, I think. I think it's nice and clear. Again, a lot of people might not have this yet. I think it's being rolled out. So if you have like an enterprise account, you may like click on the plus icon and you may not see portfolio, you may not see project, and because it's being rolled out. So it's going to be a few months, I think, before everyone gets it on the enterprise accounts, right?
But yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's right. But if it's something that you do want, which I presume everybody will, and it's not there, just reach out to myself or Keen, and we'll be able to reach out to Monday and get that added to your account straight away.
Yeah.
Perfect. If there's no questions on that, I might hand it back to yourself, Keen. I'll actually share the slides because we're going to go through some of the roadmap highlights.
Yeah, exactly. So there's lots of stuff kind of coming up on the roadmap. Now, I just selected kind of three, kind of a lot, mostly for time's sake, but I think these three options are really cool, right? So the first one that's coming up, you can see here the planned release is the final quarter of this year, right? And it's called the global column.
Mhm.
Now, what this is going to do is it's going to synchronize. It's going to be a column that's synchronized with across the whole account level, right? So, for example, the way I think this might be able to be used now, I haven't used it yet, I haven't played around with it, but I presume that you'll be able to maybe type updates in like the global column section and it could reach like an account that's in maybe a different workspace, a completely different board, and everyone can kind of communicate on one global column. So you can see
Mhm.
here what it says is it creates a synchronized and updated column on a company or workspace level, offers a quick view of all boards using shared column, and helps communicate changes effectively, easily updates cross-company information. So I'm presuming that's how it's going to work. But again, we'll see, when the time comes, and I'm sure if we have our mug around this time, we'll kind of focus on that and explain it more to you. And any questions once it's released, reach out to us and we can go through it with you. So next one there, Amy, if you want to. Okay, so this one is
Amazing.
like, I can't believe it's only here now, but yes, now you'll finally be able to customize the order of views. So again, this is starting to be rolled out. I personally haven't got it yet, but by the end of the year, you should be able to see it. So you can finally drag and drop your different views. So it says creates customized views, order for entire boards or for specific users, and use customization options. You can group and color code the views now too. So, that's a pretty nice one. I believe it's taken them this long, but there we go.
Yeah.
And then finally, we have notifications control. So really granular control when it comes to notifications. I know myself, I'm being pinged on notifications sometimes for stuff that I really don't need to be looking at. So you'll now have notification settings per person. So you can customize your notification settings by deciding who gets which notifications, when, and where. So it's granular even down to the minute, right? So you can create an account notification profile, mute notifications outside working hours, and get all of your notifications in one daily email too if you want. So instead of having to sift through like your 25 notifications that you might have, you can have them all at the end of the day in one email too. So that's kind of here's some of the highlights. I have a few more things that I can go through if you want to book in a meeting with me and give you some sneak previews of things that are coming down the line. But I think those ones are some nice to haves.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's about it.
Brilliant. So just wonder, was there any questions then that anybody had regarding any of the features we went over? Oh, so Laura, I can see there that you asked how do we get the portfolio in Monday.com. So one, you'd have to have you'd have to have an enterprise account. And then if you wanted to, if it's not visible on your account now, we can reach out to Monday, as I said. So we can follow up on that to see why it wasn't on your account at the moment.
And Ula, I think, has a question.
Hi, Ula, how are you?
Hi guys,
Oh yeah.
how are you doing? I have a question. By the way, I can't wait for organizing the views.
I
This
Yes,
is
know,
such a
right? It's crazy that it's only coming out finally.
I knew that you guys would love that.
we have a lot of people that view things. All right, but the question, just diving back, the question was about permissions. I
Mhm.
do have a column in one of the boards that has a lot of labels, and they need to be very specific. But my
Mm,
awesome coworkers are very fond of editing those labels by accident. And
yeah,
is there any way that they can not edit the labels, but they can still choose it? Is there a permission like that, or am I
there
too
is.
specific?
There is. Let me just share the screen again for you because I actually kind of touched on it earlier, but maybe I wasn't too clear, right? So a lot of the time, you might have status columns and you're like, please don't change all the labels, just, spell things wrong. I know where you're coming from. So you're going to want to like change the permissions on your board itself, right? So go to the board where people are kind of messing things up on you and click on permissions. And this would probably be the one that you want, right? So people are not able to edit your column or group, select this option, right? So they'll
Got
still
it.
be able to update things, view everything, but they can't go in and like actually edit the column itself, right? So I would suggest maybe trying that option. Have you tried that yet?
Yeah, I will try just to double check, but then they are allowed to drag and drop the items up and down and whatever and sorting them out. That is correct? It's just about the
Um,
columns.
so yeah, oh yeah, items that can be dragged and dropped. It's really just column structure and labels, so they won't be able to edit any of those. So it'll be locked down. So select that option, and I think you'll be fine.
But in their views, they can do whatever they want. They can create a new view and then like move the columns and move the structure for themselves, correct?
No, because it's kind of on the board level. So even if there is a new view for them, they're not going to be able to do that, unfortunately, right? So
So this is the
yeah,
thing, because I need a view per person, but then I don't want them to, and I want them to be
name.
able to customize them, but I don't want them to change the labels. So this is the
Hmm.
issue.
See, is it super important that they kind of move around or edit their own columns? Like, do you think, yeah, they have to do that and edit the column regularly? Because if they have their own view, maybe if they have it locked down and they have it right, then maybe just select that option, you know?
Yeah, but then they have to come over, and whenever they want to, change a column because they don't like that there's,
Yeah,
it's a third column, fourth column, they have to come back to me to unlock the permissions or to any
yeah,
owner.
yeah,
So
fair
I don't know.
enough.
I'll check that, but it's a good solution. Let me think about it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, that's kind of the only solution now I can think of for you. But have a go and see how it goes.
And we have a call today as well, so we can go through it in more detail then as well.
Sure.
We can have a play around
Right.
as well.
Thank you so much.
Perfect.
Perfect. Thanks
Excellent.
very much.
Brilliant.
Any
I
more?
don't think there's any more questions. And we are just at 29 minutes, so we've just come right to the end of time. If there is any more questions, feel free to reach out to myself or Cian. Happy to answer anything or jump on a call to go through anything in more detail. Thanks, Andrew. And what we can do is, as I said at the start, we're going to send out a recording of this session, and as well along with that, it will be a survey. So you can tell us how good we were or how bad we were. Hopefully, the start. Brilliant, guys. Thanks everybody for joining
Brilliant.
today.